welcome into ZBR Sports Podcast. I'm your host Brady, here to give the NFL Week 3 picks. We can just jump right into Thursday. I had San Francisco winning. I know this is being recorded after Thursday, but I mean, it'd be pretty hard to go against San Francisco at home against the Giants. I'm not sure what Zach and Reed picked. I'd imagine they took 49ers as well. But yeah, like I said, not too much to say about this game really. 49ers really dominated in the trenches. Ran the ball really effectively. Brock Purdy just kept making plays in Shanahan's system. So, yeah, it looks like a pretty damn good quarterback. And, yeah, that team's a force to be reckoned with. We can move right into the Vikings-Chargers game. I think ESPN has it as a 1-point spread. Minnesota favored at home. This is a tough game to pick. Both teams 0-2, really needing a win to really jumpstart their season and maybe make some noise and possibly, salvage what they can. I went back and forth on this, really. I think it's going to be a really high-scoring game. But I think I'm going to edge Minnesota. They had a couple of days to prepare after Thursday's loss to Philadelphia. And I think they score just maybe 3 more points, and probably like a 34-31 type game in favor of the Vikings at home. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. Both teams really need a win. So we can move on to the Colts-Ravens match. Anthony Richardson was ruled out. Minshew in for the start. That actually might be a little bit better for them. Yeah, Minshew can get the job done. He's a capable quarterback, but Baltimore at home, 8-point favorite. I think they get it done pretty comfortably, probably by 14 points. Yeah, not really much to say about that game. Maybe the Colts can hang in there and cover the spread at least, but probably not. Yeah. So Titans-Browns, that's a battle of the mids, I swear. That game, classic dog fight. AFC defensive matchup, really, with how poor the quarterback play is. Honestly, I would favor whoever would be at home in this matchup, and Cleveland's at home. They got a pretty good front seven. Myles Garrett's probably going to wreak havoc and make Tannehill's life a living hell. So, yeah, I'd say Cleveland wins in a low-scoring matchup, probably like a 21-17, 17-14 type game. Just ugly. Not much excitement out of that matchup for me personally. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Browns in that matchup. Moving on to the Broncos and Dolphins. Yeah, I just don't believe in the Broncos. Fuck Sean Payton. I'm always going to say that. The Dolphins look hot. They could be a contender. I think they could need a couple more convincing wins for me to really jump on that wagon to where I think they're one of the biggest threats to Kansas City or even Buffalo teams of the AFC. But yeah, Broncos are so injured too. Dolphins at home. Yeah, that should be a comfortable win, probably by 10 points. And honestly, Russell Wilson just looks cooked. That's really a shame. So he had one of the best deep balls in my opinion. It just looked like he's just lost it. And I think Sean Payton's even getting a little frustrated with it too. But honestly, you love to see it. With how much shit he's talked on Nathaniel Hackett. Not that he didn't deserve it, but yeah. Maybe talk your shit after you've actually won a game. But yeah, I think they start 0-3 and Dolphins roll. So that would be my lock of the week probably. Moving on to the Patriots and Jets. I think ESPN has a 2.5 favorite for the Patriots. Yeah, it might be closer than people think. Well, I guess not really, because they have a 2.5 point favorite. But Yeah, I think the Patriots actually win this game. Probably actually cover the spread too. Um, Not by much though. I could see it being a 3-point win. I think the Jets, hang in there, but I think Mac Jones and company, Zach's Patriots, somehow come away with a win and get their first dub of the season. A much needed one. I think they're better than 0-2, despite the disastrous play from Mac Jones. Probably need to think about what their future is like there, because I don't think Mac is it. But yeah, and Zach Wilson's gonna have a tough day against that Patriots defense. It's not gonna be good. So whoever's got the Patriots defense in fantasy this week, probably gonna have a field day. All right, moving on to the Bills and Commanders. Buffalo's a 6-point favorite. Honestly, I think this game's going to be a little bit closer. I think the Bills win the game, but the Commanders still cover. I could see it being like a 27-24 game. I think, Commanders might not be as bad as I thought they were to start the year. Sam Howell looks like a capable quarterback. They got some weapons on offense, but Josh Allen and the Bills should be able to get it done. I think they just have a better team all around. Yeah. But we shall see. Moving on to the Falcons and Lions. Lions are 3-point favorites at home. I think this game is a get-right game for the Lions after blowing it in Seattle. Or I think they were at home last week. I can't remember. They should have won that game anyway. But, yeah, Detroit gets this done. Covers. And, I think Goff looks pretty good. And Desmond Ridder probably throws a pick or two. I don't think, despite the Falcons 2-0 play, I don't think Desmond Ridder's all that good. Bijan's really, really good, though. I think they got something special in him. And if they could finally throw the ball to Drake London and Kyle Pitts, they could actually take off. But like I said, you actually need a willing coach and a capable quarterback to do that. I don't even know if they have that. So I'm going to take Detroit at home, Dan Campbell's Lions, move on to 2-1 on this season. All right, moving on to the Saints and Packers. Packers are a 1-point favorite at home. Oh, that's going to be a really, really close game. But I kind of like the matchup before when I was talking about the Titans and Browns. I favor that probably the home team, and I think the Packers will win a really close game. Probably help them out if Christian Watson would play, and Aaron Jones, so that factors in a lot. A.J. Dillon's going to get a bulk of the carry for sure. But yeah, I'm going to slightly edge Green Bay. They have a good secondary. Chris Olave's really good, but my guess is Derek Carr probably throws a pick or two and kind of train wrecks the game a little bit. But yeah, Green Bay moves on to 2-1 on the season. And Jordan Love continues to look, decent. Not great, but definitely a capable starting quarterback, above average, maybe average. So yeah, 2-1 for Green Bay moving on to the season. All right, moving on to a Texans-Jaguars matchup that I don't think is going to be close at all. Jaguars at home, 7.5-point favorite. I think only scoring 9 points last week against Kansas City. They're probably going to come out hot, want to really put some points on the board. And yeah, this should be a pretty comfortable win, probably like a 30-10 type game. Definitely covering the spread. I don't think the Texans are good at all. They have some nice pieces. C.J. Stroud, we'll see on him. I don't think he's going to be any good, but he's started out okay, I suppose. But yeah, this should be a pretty comfortable win for Jacksonville, bouncing back on the season to 2-1. And yeah, honestly, looking at the Texans' schedule, I'm having a hard time finding a win on their schedule. So it ain't this week. Move on to the Panthers and Seahawks. So Anthony Dalton's going to be starting for the Panthers this week, which actually might help them a little bit because I think he's probably a better quarterback than Bryce Young at this point in his career. Not to say that when Bryce Young reaches his peak that he won't be, but as of right now, he just probably should have sat and learned from someone like Andy for a few games, maybe like half a season before he took over. But despite all that, Seattle's at home. Seattle's a pretty good team. Seahawks get it done. Gino's probably going to have a pretty decent game. Panthers are just not very talented. I mean, I think their number one right now is Adam Thielen, and that's not saying much at this point in his career. Love the dude, but yeah, Panthers D-line's okay, but no, the Seahawks should score enough points to where I think they cover the spread. I think they win probably like a 27-17 type game. Not particularly close. But Andy Dalton looks a lot better than Bryce Young, what I'm thinking. So probably throws a touchdown or two. But moving on to the Cowboys and Cardinals, that game's not going to be close at all. That's going to be a tough game for Arizona at home against that defense, despite the injury to Trayvon Diggs. I think they probably I wouldn't be surprised if they get like 5 or 6 sacks, 2 or 3 turnovers, just kind of like a week 1 scoring fest like on the Giants. And partly why I'm not really hesitant on playing James Conner, just because how good how good Cowboys defense is. And honestly, it's not that I don't think he's not capable. I just think they're going to have to be throwing a lot when they get behind. But who knows? They give him the bulk of the carries a lot, so he's arguably their best player. But despite all that, Dallas probably covers. Probably like a 35-10. And that's probably being generous for Cardinals scoring that much. Go Birds. But yeah, comfortable win for Dallas. Yeah, we can move on to the Chicago Bears, Kansas City Chiefs matchup. Another easy pick. Kansas City wins, and with how Chicago's looking and how that franchise is falling apart right now, you love to see it. Their coach's allegations and Justin Fields being honestly a prima donna, blaming coaches and really not owning up to his disaster play, because honestly he's a bust and he's got no one to blame but himself, despite his weapons. Yeah, I mean, you could probably give him Justin Jefferson and he still probably wouldn't see him running down the field wide open. So Kansas City gets this done comfortably. It's probably this is probably the game where Travis Kelce gets back and probably catches like 2 touchdowns, goes for over 115 yards, 9 catches, something like that. And Kansas City probably looks like they're peaking. So getting all their players back is definitely key. But yeah, it's comfortable. Cover the spread. Kansas City gets it done. Moving on, this is the Steelers-Raiders matchup. This is a tough one. Raiders are at home. We've been back and forth. I think Pittsburgh somehow, some way edges out a victory. It's going to be a close one. 23-20 is kind of my prediction. Both teams are pretty mid. Raiders got some nice weapons, and Jimmy can sling it still, but something tells me Mike Tomlin gets his team to bounce I don't know. I don't know if they won last week or not. I'd have to look. They did. So yeah, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. Back-to-back wins on the season to 2-1. I don't know if Kenny Pickett's that dude or not, but and honestly, I don't trust Las Vegas. I don't trust their coach. I think he could very well be fired by the end of the year, depending on how their season goes. But yeah, Steelers with a close win, and we can move on to the 2 Monday night games, starting with the Eagles Buccaneers. The Bucs surprisingly starting off 2-0. Baker's look decent. They got some weapons. They're not as bad as everyone thought they were going to be. But I think this is kind of where their steam dies down a little bit and stumble against Philadelphia. I think Philly, a 5-point favorite, cover the spread. I think Jalen Hurts has a big game. I think, the Bucs aren't going to get the doors blown off of them, but if Philly does cover the spread, they probably win by 7-10 points. Probably like a 27-17, 27-14 game, something like that. The Eagles move on to 3-0. I think they're going to probably force Baker into a turnover to make this probably the game where Baker looks bad and then everyone's going to shit on him and see, like I told you so. But they're just going to be playing a tough defense, and it's just a tough matchup. Anyone playing Philadelphia, so yeah, Philly moving on with the dub and covering. And the last game, Rams and Bengals. This is a tough one. Cincinnati, I don't know if they're going to have Joe Burrow or not. I would imagine so with their backup quarterback situation. So I'm just going to say Joe Burrow will play, and I will take Cincinnati. If he wasn't, then obviously I would be taking Los Angeles. But yeah, Bengals haven't looked very impressive to start the year, but I think hopefully they get back, and because you can't fall down 0-2 in the AFC, or 0-3, I should say, and expect to climb your way back, because that division or conference is too stacked. So I would say Cincinnati bounces back and gets it done pretty close. I don't think the Rams are just a team that you can overlook. They're not an easy win. Stafford looks like he's back and healthy. And if they can get Cooper Kupp back, maybe they make some noise in the NFC. But yeah, I'm going to roll with Cincinnati. And that will close out my Week 3 picks. All right, guys. Thank you. You can follow me at Brady Feldkamp on Twitter. And subscribe to us on YouTube. And we're trying to get up to 50 so we can start recording live. All right. Thanks, guys. See you.